All right, guys. What is good, guys? Welcome to Dropping Dimes. I'm your host, Flavo Rihanna, brought to you by Four Corner Sports. All right, guys. So yesterday we ended up having what possibly might be a finals preview. Yes, it was the Brooklyn Nets versus the Los Angeles Lakers. And look, it wasn't a complete, not everybody was available. For the Nets, obviously KD pulled hamstring, or I think it was a calf string. I can't remember. He was out. And when Anthony Davis, if you guys have been sleeping underneath a rock, he had a strain. It's a scare because it looks similar to how Kevin Durant and back in the playoff run in 2019 when he was a part of the Golden State Warriors, on how things panned out with him. All right. Remember how they said it was a calf strain, and then it was like, no, it's the Achilles. Comes back for, I believe it was Game 5 of the NBA Finals, dunking like crazy in practice. All right, Achilles what? And then later on, dropping what? I think he ended up dropping like 11 points in a matter in like 5 minutes or something like that. Showing like he was back. Kevin Durant, is back. The Durantula is back, and then bam, as he was going for a crossover, snaps his Achilles, ruptures it, out for all of last season. All right, so the Lakers are taking proper precautions with Anthony Davis, making sure that things are correctly, being monitored. They don't want it to rush him. They originally had said about 4 weeks. I won't be surprised if it's gonna be more on 8 weeks, to be honest, until he comes back. But we had a game yesterday. It was the premier game Thursday night on TNT. It was Lakers, hosting against the Nets. No AD. Before tip off, you had Dennis Schroeder, who was pulled out before he was able even to step onto the floor because of COVID-19 contract tracing. So he was not available to play. So yes. So then what happens on? So now it's just Kevin Durant, no Dennis Schroeder, no AD. All right, let's get going with this. You still had Kyrie and James Harden running the backcourt against LeBron James. So Kyrie, he already knew that he wanted to bring it. We wanted to see how this was going to happen with James Harden and Kyrie Irving. Were they going to be able to overcome, LeBron, Kyle Kuzma? Okay, you also had Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Wesley Matthews, and that bunch. But it just showed that, everybody was criticizing the Nets. They have horrible defense. All right. They need to get somebody on defense and stuff like that. And even without Kevin Durant, the Brooklyn Nets were still able to get the job done. Joe Harris, all right? I tweeted it out. I said on the Four Corner Sports Twitter, I had said, Joe Harris, many people have forgotten of the fact that he was actually a part of LeBron James, championship team in 2016. All right. He was on the bench and they got rid of him. I believe it was in 2017 or 2018. Can't remember. No, I think it was 17 if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. 17 they got rid of him. LeBron always wanted, more help. Joe Harris, right, is one of the best 3-point shooters in the league. I mean, sure, he was not that in Cleveland, but they never gave him the opportunity. Why? Because LeBron always wants more established players playing with him. That's why you see a Wesley Matthews on that squad. You see a Dennis Schroeder on that squad. You see players like Anthony Davis on that squad. You have a list of players, added on that team that can give you depth. Montrezl Harrell. So Joe Harris, if he was ever given the opportunity, maybe, LeBron could have won an extra title in Cleveland, all right? But he develops into this great sharpshooter in Brooklyn, and this guy knocks down 6 of 7 threes. 6 of 7 threes, all right? This guy was lights out, all right? And at one point, I don't even think they finished with this percentage, but at one point, the Nets were hitting at 50% of their 3-point shots. 50%, I mean, that's remarkable. Those are Steph Curry type of numbers, and they were hitting that as a whole unit. All right, TLC, Tim Cabarrou, right? I can't pronounce his whole last he's like Cabarrou. All right, he was knocking down shots. Uncle Jeff Green was knocking down shots. Joe Harris, I already said it, was knocking down shots. James Harden, Kyrie Irving, all right? You had Landry Shamet knocking down shots too. So everybody was knocking down shots as a collective unit for the Brooklyn Nets, all right? KD, no problem whatsoever, all right? As for the Lakers, I mean, LeBron did drop a significant amount. He dropped over 30 as usual. He also became the third player in NBA history to ever reach the 35,000 mark. Right, he is still trailing Karl Malone, and he is also trailing the great Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I'm gonna pull up the exact numbers, right? So LeBron had 32 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists. Kyle Kuzma also had 16 points. And then after that, it was Montrezl Harrell, and nobody else hit double-digit figures for the Lakers. As for the Nets, now you had Joe Harris hitting, 21 points, right? James Harden, 23 points. Kyrie, 16. TLC, he had 15 points. Landry Shamet had 10. All right. Also, we had a spotting of Andre Robertson. He was a newly signee for the Brooklyn Nets. He played about a couple minutes. I think it was like 2 minutes towards the ending of the fourth quarter. Look, it wasn't really a game. All right. At one point, the Nets were as close to like at least a 30-point lead. I think they had like a 25-point lead at some point in the fourth quarter. And it just shows. I mean, look, Anthony Davis is such a big deal. Can LeBron carry the Lakers back to the finals, all right, without Anthony Davis? I don't know if he's going to be able to do it. I mean, the West is fully loaded. I mean, you saw what happened year one with the Lakers. Didn't even make the playoffs. I know that's an anomaly right there, right? I know a lot of people were giving LeBron, everything that, he deserved, right? Because LeBron has been in the finals and, everybody was just sick and tired of it at some point, But can he bring them back to the finals without Anthony Davis? I'm going to say most likely not. I don't think LeBron James can handle, carrying the load for like 40 minutes a night, 38 minutes a night, all right? I think those days are over, all right? He is 36. He's going on to his year 37. And mind you, he played in the finals, all right? He only has 72 days of rest from Game 6 up until the first game of the season. So that also has to be playing a factor when it comes to injuries with the Lakers, with Anthony Davis's Achilles injury. Plus, it's going to be wear and tear. I don't see the Lakers going back to the finals if Anthony Davis is not fully healthy. As for the Nets, I mean, if the Nets continue to play up to their competition, like they're playing against teams that are above 500, they are 10-1. All right, they just dominated the Lakers without no KD. Imagine what they would have done with KD. All right, and they were getting tons of support from the bench. All right, tons of support. I mean, Landry Shamet, this guy, needs to be more recognized than what he, has gotten. I mean, was an excellent player with the Clippers, showing what he can do with the Nets. All right. I really like this player a lot, Landry Shamet. That's a player to watch out for. If Joe Harris is not on the floor, look out for Landry Shamet. And then what I love about Steve Nash, at one point, Harden was running point, Kyrie was on the bench. When Harden was on the bench, Kyrie was running point. I can't wait to see what happens when Spencer Dinwiddie is fully, healed. You're going to be able to have 3 point guards, right, running each part of the squad. You're going to have the A squad, the B squad, and the C squad. Imagine Spencer Dinwiddie running point with a C squad, all right? You're always going to have some type of firepower at point guard. So I cannot wait to see what happens when this Nets team is fully healthy. As for Kevin Durant, I expect Kevin Durant to come back in a couple games. But wow, the Nets are going on all cylinders right now. I expect the Nets to go into the finals with the way that they're playing. Milwaukee has lost 5 straight. I can't. The only team that I could see, getting in the Nets' way, and it might be making it a tough series, is the Philadelphia 76ers. Outside of that, I can't see nobody stopping the Brooklyn Nets. But that's my take on what happened. We had a finals preview this past Thursday, and I gotta say, it exceeded expectations. But then again, that is everything that I got. I'm your host, Flavo Rihanna. Thank you for tuning in, for dropping dimes, and I'll catch you guys at a later date. Peace, guys, and have a good one.